In this video, we'll go ahead and talk about SEO, which is a very important topic for cleaning services. And I will tell you in this video if you guys still should do SEO in 2026. If so, how you should do it, what to focus on, and all of that good stuff. And I have a lot of experience because we've done over $15 million with my cleaning business. We've done SEO for a very long time, and I always get to see the changes that are happening in it. So I will tell you what to focus on, how to do it properly, and what to make sure not to waste your money on. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. When I first started, I mean, things already are much different from 2025 with SEO, especially so much different from when I started over 10 years ago with SEO. Back then, every year you have more to worry about, of course. And when I started, there was only pretty much this part, which is the Google AdWords part. There was no Google LSA. Um, and then there was this Google Maps part, and then you go straight into this, right? So that is that is such a big thing, because when you start adding this in, that means everything that's here gets pushed down, right? And most people now will find what they need to find before they ever reach here. Okay, so um, if you are focusing on this might not be, the best bang for your buck, because depending also on what location you're in. So if you're in a heavy saturated location like New York, people are spending so much money to go on here that if you're a beginner, it's going to be a long time before you see results, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So that is not a good way of starting out, right? If you're somewhere that's very, very low competition, it could be worth it, but at the same time, maybe nobody's searching for that keyword, like maid services or cleaning services, right? So you have to also look at that. And if you can find a low competition area, like you may be in low competition area, then you may find it to be worth it, because you might get 10 clients from it a month, but it might have costed you almost nothing to get up there because there's no competition. That's a gold mine. That's what I like to call a gold mine. You definitely have to take a look, but you have to be very careful with this one, because you could spend a lot of money and never rank in saturated markets. Okay, on top of this is not as good as it used to be. So if we're talking about this part, I just answered the question. Saturated markets, very careful. If you see an opportunity, go for it. Okay, now let's talk about this part. This part, everybody's goal should be to rank on here. Okay, um, always look at ChatGPT AI and ask, how can I rank here? It's going to literally tell you what you need to do in order to get up there, right? It's not going to be that complicated in terms of steps how to rank here. However, that doesn't mean you're going to rank here, because the biggest factor, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is reviews, right? If someone has a lot of reviews, they're mostly going to outrank you. But there are cases where someone will have 1,000 reviews, and sometimes I see 100 review business be ranked here. That again is a gold mine. On top of it, not every single business can take every single ranking, every keyword, right? So what I saw is actually before reviews, relevance, I think, is number one. So the business uh, being in the area that somebody's searching. So if your address is, let's say, in this city, um, let's say Chicago has neighborhoods. So let's say there's a neighborhood someone is in, and overall someone is searching Chicago, but they live in this specific location where the business is from. That business might show up first because it's closest to them. So there's leverage that you guys can go ahead and get when it comes to ranking up here. So I would suggest going on ChatGPT, looking up what are my advantages, where can I rank, how can I do it, study it. This is where you get the upper hand, and then figure out how to get in here. That's going to bring basically free clients. This is a gold mine. You have to be on here, okay? This is literally where everybody pretty much searches. If you're and mobile searches are higher than desktop searches. So if somebody's sitting watching TV, that's like when I like to search, they're going to be on mobile, and maybe booking online, and it's going to be quick and easy for them, right? And it's going to be free clients for you if you rank here. So this is a gold mine. This again, I answered depending on the situation, but it's going to be very costly to rank up there. And then there's this SEO, right, where it's Google LSA and Google AdWords. AdWords, it's still worth it as a paid source. It's a very good source if you leverage it properly. And this, if you're beginning, again, it's a great opportunity to be up here, but you have to be careful. A lot of times people, when you look at these two things, one thing I want you to keep in mind is that on mobile, this makes it a very easy decision to almost never go for this, because this is so far down the line that whenever someone searches, they're definitely going to make their choice before they ever get down here. So when you're on mobile, look, and this thing changes all the time because they're always trying to Google. I'm not the biggest fan of Google because they're, in favor of making the most money possible. They don't care too much about their businesses. They're like, you know what, screw it. Whatever makes us most money, let's go for it. So if they could stick 10 of these over here just because they're going to make most money off of it, they would. And they're always testing. Sometimes I see 3, sometimes I see 4. Sometimes I see ads here, and that's what I don't like, because especially for your own keyword, like if someone's going to search King of Maids or the actual business and they're trying to stick uh, competitors in there just to maximize money, that's that's a little bit, too much in my opinion. I'm not a fan of things like that, but they can, because they have the leverage. There's nothing you can do about it, so they do it. Okay, but that goes to show you that they don't really care about you. They care about the bottom line. So ads is number one no matter what. Okay, as long as people are using Google, ads are always going to be number one. So that means everything here is always pushed down to secondary, and their goal is not to ever be seen. They don't even want you to see this, especially for things that generate them a lot of money. So this is going to be 1, and this is going to be 2. So next year they might be like, okay, 10 of them might be here pushing everything down. That's why I don't like to focus on this too much anymore, because of that. But this, important, very important, because people literally will go on Google Maps, search for things, and they will find these things. So you want to rank there, use the opportunity. This is great to kickstart things. If you want to, if you have a little bit of a budget and you want to get more clients, this is a good way to kickstart things. And then of course there's SEO of AI searches now. Okay, so people are transitioning to AI searches. So you have to prioritize that as well. So if someone searches something on ChatGPT, Gemini, wherever, like best services that have over 1,000 reviews or something like that, you should figure out how to leverage that. That is the new thing. And, eventually everything is going to shift there. It may take some time, but people are going to be more and more um, trying to go after those keywords. So that is where everything is heading. This is still important because Google is, a beast, and they're not going to go down anytime soon. They're very competitive. They're spending a lot of money. People are still sticking with them from when I look at the trends. Yes, shift is happening to other search engines like ChatGPT, but the audience is still on Google, and they for sure want to keep you there. So as long as you're getting your reviews, that will contribute to AI search later, because Google will always choose their results here. And since they have so much of it with reviews, that will play a factor. Other um, places like ChatGPT will also leverage those Google reviews. So keep on working on this. Figure out how to rank there. That's your golden opportunity. And still focus on SEO. Just remember, this is not as big of a deal as it used to be. And one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is don't get scammed by SEO companies. SEO companies, majority of them don't know what they're doing. I truly believe nobody knows what they're doing when it comes to SEO, because algorithms change so quickly, but they're able to make educated guesses to rank you there. However, it's an industry where so much scams happen, because in order to see results, it takes months. So they'll just tell you something like, pay me $3,000 per month Don't call me, because for 6 months you won't see any results. That's just how it is. It takes time. So for 6 months, they're off the hook. You won't be calling them. And then after 6 months, you've already invested 18 grand. And then they tell you, oops, there's nothing I can do. So be careful when it comes to hiring an SEO company, because I just told you this stuff isn't as important anymore as it was. You could still do it. And if you do hire an SEO company, references. Don't, you know, look at the red flags. There's no references. If they ranked somebody 10 years ago and they're showing you a case study, no, show them who they ranked literally last year, and if it was for a big keyword, not something that nobody searches for, and then go from there. Don't hire ever anybody that they cannot show you proof. And not just one, do two or three, or else let them do it for free, because it's a waste of money otherwise. Okay. That is what I would say about SEO in 2026.